Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. First, I gotta sit there and say that B&B has been killing it with this storyline. Okay, B&B definitely stepped it up, and I gotta sit there and say again, and granted, this goes for today's episode. Well, B&B definitely BGH. Again, if we're gonna be honest, ever since this whole Eric storyline kind of started a little bit, especially in December with the holidays and stuff like that, it's like GH has just been sleeping behind the wheel, and B&B has actually been stepping it up. Now, going into this episode, I knew, and everyone else knew, that Finn was working on something to save Eric. Okay? We all knew. There was no other possible reason why he was that late to a party he knew that Steffi wanted him to attend because of Eric's condition. We all knew he was working on something. Now, while Red just not there telling these stories about, well, this one story about how Eric saved him when he hurt himself or whatever, you got the family that's staying at the house. Bridget is not there telling everyone to not go to the hospital. Everyone can't be there at one time, and which was actually pretty stupid. When you stop to think about it, there is a waiting room, and I get that she was like, well, you're going to be flagging down the nurses, and they're trying to save Eric and everything like that. But I'm like, I don't think that being close to Eric was, even in that hospital, was going to do anything. I just felt like they didn't probably have enough, I don't know, props or something like that. I feel like there was a budget issue with them not being at the hospital because it just wouldn't make sense for the family to be staying at the house. But Donna's there, Brooke's there, and so Finn tells Steffi that he's been working on something, and it's experimental. And when Ridge get there and Brooke, he tells them both that as well. You know, Don is like, is there going to be any pain, any discomfort and stuff like that? And then, Finn is like, listen, with these risks, with these surgeries, whatever, it comes risks, and there's going to be discomfort. And he basically says that this procedure is to cleanse his blood along with a transplant. It's going to be a long road to recovery. Ridge is power of attorney, and I can't imagine being any more in a more god awful position than him. Because you have to understand, whatever decision that he makes, there's always going to be somebody that's going to be unhappy with him. Hell, he's going to be unhappy with himself, depending on no matter which way it goes. And he makes a difficult decision to say that he doesn't want his dad to go through all those surgeries and stuff like that. Let him go out in peace. You know? And you can tell Donna is just livid. Donna's livid. I think Steffi's kind of surprised. I can only imagine what the other family is going to sit there and really look at and have emotional response to it. And I give Rich a lot of credit because he looked at it and was like, something to be said about going out with a sense of dignity and not. Well, let's put it this way. I'll put it this way. The reason why I felt like the decision was probably among the bravest things that him or any other person in that position can sit there and be in is because it's not about you. It's about them. It's a very selfless act that you are going to be in probably the most agonizing pain that you can ever face. But you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for them. No matter how much you want them there, it's not about you at this point. And if that's not a level of love and compassion, I don't know what is. So that's why I said that his position is not something that I wish on anyone. It's a suck ass position to sit there and say the least. Um, so when you got that going on, you got Thomas and Hope. Hope is like, how are we going to sit there and break this to Douglas? Thomas is like, well, hopefully everything will work out, and we'll just sit there and say, Granddad was a little sick. I get that he's in a sense of denial right now, but as a parent, he's going to have to sit there and kind of snap out of that a little bit more faster. Um, I think I kind of just to name a few of the people that's there. You got Katie Baby, you got Zende, you got Bridget, you got Thornton, you got um, Steffi, Luna, RJ, Carter. I think that's about it. I could be wrong, but I think that's about it. So, pretty sure this is not going to be over. And I can't really think of anything else. I knew his review was going to be short because the episode was pretty much short, and the only thing that the majority of the other cast did was stay in the room and was wanting to go to the hospital while Bridget said it was not a good idea. Um, which it's like, she never heard of a waiting room or anything? Anyway, I can't really think of anything else. So, if I forgot anything, which I felt like I did, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, Born and Beautiful, Young and Restless, General Hospital, Date of Our Lives. I'm going to restream it for an hour and a half because I got to wake up at an unnecessarily time in the morning. I'll sit there inside. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.